rinse.
Rinse, rinse.
Rinse, rinse.
And then I throw out too.
And then you throw out too. We waste enormous amounts of wine on the Thunder Show, which always gets the fans a little. Now,
guys, I'll save you the bucket.
Mott, zoom in real quick. What you're going to see here on our Bordeaux, we're going to miss it in a minute. Got it? Pour you a little bit. Bordeaux.
Yeah.
Very popular white wine varietal.
Flowery.
Very floral, yes. And let's get into the chorizo. Tell us about this.
We have two types of chorizo, and of course these are Spanish chorizo, which are cooked, not to be confused with the Mexican chorizo or Colombian chorizos, which come raw. So this is a cooked chorizo that you find in the paellas. You find this. This is a typical tapa and wine chaser in Spain.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and what's nice is that it's got condiment and salt. So it's nice to find the right thing to chase it down with.
Let's, what we're going to try to do it with is the Pai Franco Verdejo, 16 U.S. bones, 90 points Parker, pre-phylloxera vineyards, very, very serious white wine from Rueda. And I'm sure, have you ever had Verdejo? Or not really?
Yes, I have actually. And you said that this one is from Rueda?
Yep.
Okay.
So, let's give it a snippy sniff.
Snippy, snippy, sniff. I'm sniffing.
It smells good.
Now each time I'm gonna have a glass of wine, I'm gonna be remembering this guy. You must smell it, because all the little girls are gonna call.
That's
complaining,
right. That's right. You don't want to teach the up-and-coming wine drinkers of America.
Future alcoholics. No kidding.
What do you think of what's going on in the nose here?
Ooh, I like this. I love this. I have to say that I was not crazy with the Albarino because I am in love with a specific Albarino.
Which one?
That I really. It's called Mar de Frades.
Yeah.
Rios. It's from Rios
Yep.
Baixas.
Yep.
Mar de Frades. Love it. Love it. Love it. Cheap wine, delicious.
This has great balance.
This is amazing.
This is really good.
This is really. So
wanna
this
try
is the one that you use. You know, it's funny because you've actually used the lightest wine for the heaviest food.
Yeah, this is a very interesting play for me. I honestly, like, all this other stuff is very fun, but this is an interesting play. The majority of people, when they pair chorizo, pair it with red wine. The majority.
Of course.
And so I always thought that was fascinating. I'm always looking for how do I break the rules? How do we mix it up? That's what I like to do, Ingrid. And so what I did was I went out and tried a lot of Spanish white wines, trying to find what worked. And Verdejo has done really well, especially with high acid. And this has it. Are you struggling to eat the chorizo?
I'm licking my hands. Sorry, guys.
So the one on the left is different from the one on the right.
Yes.
Any major difference?
This is probably more vinegary, and this is more
Spicy?
spicy.
I love chorizo. Mott? Your chorizo
Not that
man?
this one is not
Oh.
spicy. This is spicy too. It's just more vinegary.
All right, we've got them on our palate. Now try it.
But from the white wines, this is the mildest one.
It's the lightest in body, but the highest in acid. And unlike the acid we saw in the Albarino, it's complex throughout in acid. And to me, it accentuates the flavors of the
Ooh,
chorizo.
it's perfect.
To me, it really brings out what's going on in the chorizo.
Yeah, but you just sort of completely demystified everything that I always kind of, what you think of pairing. This is the strongest thing we've tasted.
Right.
And it's the mildest, lightest wine. So
Yeah.
I would have thought that it would have been the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's...
And I like the combination.
You like it?
Yes.
I mean, to me, there's no right or wrong, right?
Of course
But there's people that aren't exploring and trying different things.
Yeah.
Just because this may not be what on paper sounds right, to me, it really, the wine here plays second fiddle to the chorizo and helps it explode on the
Totally.
mouth.
I would say that so far from the whites, this definitely is my favorite.
I totally agree. I think this has a gorgeous, like, olive oil type complexity on the back end. Great floral white flower, almost like dandelion kind of flavors on the front end. Little lemon peel. great like apple core, mid-palate, long finish. I think Parker or whoever reviewed this, probably Jay Miller, 90 points wine advocate. I totally agree. This is a 90, 91 point type wine. And at 16 bones,
What?
it is a very serious play in my opinion.
You
Good
sell
job.
this on the website?
We do.
I'm ordering this. This is
Come
gonna
on,
be Christmas
bring her up.
wines.
Bring out the credit card.
Yeah, ring it up. Don't
good
I have
stuff.
credit at the wine
Yes,
library?
absolutely. Let's move on. Classic
Okay.
cheese,
The Manchego.
the Manchego. I mean, this is
Must I
like,
throw this out to you?
yes, you can drink it. It's up to you.
Drink it. I'm gonna save it meanwhile there.
Good idea.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to Humia. Have you ever had red wine from Humia?
From Mencia? No, I haven't.
Okay, tell us about the Manchego, why you love it so much.
Manchego is dry, it's salty. I would say that it has a little bit of sort of like an oaky type of flavor in the back. Let me smell it again.
Gotta smell. While you're smelling, Wine Heel, 12 US bones, 100% Montestral. Very popular wine, very sought after. People love the price, and 91 points. J. Miller, 12 bones. I mean, very serious stuff. You know, a lot of people love the wines from Humia. We had Jorge Ordonez on the show last week, and you know what he was saying about this region. And so, very popular wines, very big wines.
It's funny, when I think of red wine of Spain, I'm always thinking of Rioja.
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
ask me why,
well,
maybe because they've just marketed it
Sure,
really
I mean,
well.
that's the brand.
Yeah.
I mean, Rioja is the classic region, but what's happened over the last 8 to 10 years in Spain is amazing. Toro and Humia and so many other places.
It smells like
Ribera.
licorice.
Big time. By the way, that was big for you. I mean, that is by far the biggest note that you nailed. Yes, pat yourself up. Are you leaving? There you go. Absolutely. This wine, you know, time and time again, I didn't even smell
Where
it.
does
and I
your
knew-
Oh, on the net. Okay, I was just thinking. Okay, awesome. See? Now,
Black
guys, you know that this conception of women not knowing anything about wine, just all you need to do is smell.
Just watch that
Yeah,
moment.
it does. Licorice.
It has huge layers
Like
of licorice.
Dutch licorice. Like
I
the real
totally-
candy type.
And again, tons of candy type flavors above that. Almost like black currant, blueberries, very dark fruit
Black currant, yeah.
coming through. And almost a little chalky on the nose. Let's give it a whirl.
Ooh, I like it. Girls are watching. Courtney, I'm saving some for you. I'm saving the bucket. I should show you our tape from the Food and Wine Festival.
How do you like that?
You know, it's funny because now I don't smell the licorice anymore.
After it hit your palate. Really?
And
I still
also
get
have the
plenty of
cheese.
licorice. Did you have the cheese already?
Yeah, wow, I wasn't.
Come on, you saw that? I didn't see it. Too bad. Now let's have the cheese, Ingrid.
I thought I was supposed to.
You're more than welcome to.
That's my problem. I'm just sticking food in my mouth all day.
What do you think about this pairing? Do you
think
the
it's
red,
perfect.
Do you think the red overpowers the cheese a little much? I'm a little worried. Just a hair on my palate, it might, but otherwise, I think it works extremely well.
I don't smell the licorice anymore.
God,
Maybe it's because the cheese is it because the cheese is strong?
it's possible. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe your nose got cloggy. It's possible. Ma? No. To me, there's a gorgeous red fruit component to this wine that brings a lot of thunder on the mid palate. The cheese balances really well. I think the red wine's a hair powerful for cheese for my palate.
I think the two things are very powerful because they're bouncing back in the tongue. It's gotten salty. Everything's gotten more intense.
I
And
agree.
in the others, it
They
was the
blend well.
opposite.
I agree. I think this one
It kind of-
might be a miss for me. I mean, I think that, you know, whereas everything else became a cohesive unit, this is like a stormy relationship. Though both units are
It's the
are
kind
great.
I know.
Well, then maybe you're very comfortable with this pairing. It really feels like that, though. It feels like they're kind of banging
strong.
heads.
The other ones really, what I thought was very interesting was how the other two kind of leveled out and gave you ease. This continues. Like
Yeah,
working
I agree.
and working.
I agree. All right, let's move into the final thing.
It
which-
continues just like the stormy relationship.
It's true. They never end, do they?
They never end.
Let's pour out. All right,
Okay.
now I'm excited here. We have, with a little action
Just tell me
figure.
when I'm supposed to eat or not.
Don't eat the fennel. yet. But tell us why the Fennel's here. Be
Is
careful.
this a Jets? Oh no,
No.
this is not a Jets. Oh, because aren't you a huge Jets fan?
Yes, I'm a huge. You thought that was a Jets player? That was.
I'm a woman.
Grab the. Let me rinse your glass for you. All right. Tell us
Can
about
we rinse with water? I'm mortified about this wine we're getting rid of.
You know what? They're gonna love you for that. I get at least 5 to 10
I'm
comments
mortified.
of why are you wasting so much
Let me
wine?
tell you something. I grew up in a third world country. You don't ever.
I grew up in very low means as well. I came from Belarus, former Soviet Union. That was worse than a third world country. You had to wait 8 years to get a telephone.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So be careful, Ingrid.
Okay.
All right. Tell us about the Fennel and why we
The
have it.
Fennel. Now, the Fennel is the licorice. I personally adore. It's one of my favorite things, just like avocado and mango. What I like of Fennel is, again, I use it a lot, whether cooked or whether raw. I think that it's from, when I had to think, okay, which foods do I bring for you to pair to, it was one of those that has a very distinctive flavor. You'll either have Fennel lovers or Fennel haters. There's no one that feels so about Fennel.
No middle of the ground Fennel people.
There's no middle of the ground Fennel people.
All right. So let's
Just like there's no middle of the ground cilantro people.
that's true.
And that's the one thing I didn't
I was gonna
bring.
ask her. Yeah.
And
It is the one flavor in the world. I will eat monkey brain. I'll eat anything.
You're
anything.
one of those. Oh,
But cilantro,
boy.
no, but I gotta tell you this. Cilantro, just like uni, which is one of the only other things that I ever came across that I was kind of like not high on, and then now it's the only thing I order when I eat sushi. Same thing happened with cilantro. At first, I really struggled.
What did it taste like?
Devastation. just like the word, But now I really gravitate towards it. I've jumped that hurdle, and now I can honestly say there's nothing out there that I don't like. But what are the percentages in cilantro? Is it 50-50? What is it?
I don't know if it's 50-50. I can tell
What have
you
you
that I'm
seen?
addicted to cilantro, and people either
How about you?
love it, or hate it.
Hate it.
But
Mott?
I have a very interesting...
Like it.
Like it. I have a very
get lots of
interesting
people.
story. I used to have this friend who I always used to be so mad when he would please don't put cilantro in the food. I'm like, listen, you either eat my food or you don't. And he would always tell me that it tasted like soap, and I would get so mad. And one day doing research on cilantro, I come across a document from some research study at a university where they actually proved that people that tell you that cilantro tastes like soap is because it actually does taste like that to them, because they have a gene that makes them taste it that way.
Never tasted like soap. And had it tasted like soap for me, I would have been a fan. Because I'm fine with soap. I'm fine with soap. All right, Matt, let's zoom in on the wine. We're totally getting sidetracked. The Pricotondo Barbera from Piedmonte, 11 U.S. bones. Very big fan of Barbera grape. I think the Italian red Barberos are very underpriced, $8 to $15 a bottle. You can get a lot of value. And again, Fennel's an interesting play. I mean, it's got that whole licorice thing going on. I think this is a good pairing. Let's give this a snippy snip.
Okay,
Smell
snippy
it.
Snips.
To me, this has like a red Twizzlers and like plum flavor on the nose.
The red Twisters
You
for
get
sure.
that, right? Isn't that wild?
Yes.
Crazy, right?
Yes, totally. Red Twisters, that's funny. And you know what also? Like the new M&M flavor, it's like a cherry.
I like that. I like that. It's a gorgeous nose. Let's give it a whirl. Now, what this has that I like is almost like a milk chocolate
It does.
licorice
Yeah.
thing going on
Yeah.
even on the palate. That's why I think it really
But
pairs
in the
with this.
front.
Yes, and in the mid, and then on the finish, it just kind of creams out.
Yes.
Taste a couple pieces of fennel now and try this wine.
Now-
I'm very fascinated by what you think.
This Barbero, would that be the same as a Barbaresco, like in that family? Is that where Barbaresco?
Barberos, yeah, Barbarescos are great, and so are Barolo. It's from the same area, but this is more of an entry level type of wine than what you
This
get.
is Piedmont, right?
Uh-huh.
Mountain?
Those are Nebbiolo based wines. This is a Barbera, different grape varietal,
Okay.
same region. All right, now fennel it up. Now let's try the wine. This one's good, Bob. This one is
You
one,
said what's the retail on this?
11.
11. Wow, that's
Yeah.
really good.
No, times are tough out there. You got to find good values.
Absolutely. At first, very dry,
Uh-huh. And then?
and then it starts going into cherry through the sides.
Did you think it paired well? Or
I'm
not
not
really?
sure.
Not sure. For me, this is really, like, I like it a lot. I feel like it's licorice on licorice. So it's like licorice squared. You know?
Yeah.
So I like that. I agree with you. Sour cherry on the mid palate. To me, this is a really good pairing. It works for my palate quite a bit. But, you know, again, you know this,
Yeah.
right?
It stays, of course.
that guy tasted soap. You thought he was a jerk? He was right. You were the jerk.
Exactly.
You know, nobody likes that. So I never assume when there's things I like. For example, the last pairing really caught me
And
off guard. I
like
thought it
the
was going to work.
contrast pairings that you've done in the sense that they don't necessarily oppose, but that they go here. Everything stays the same.
Right.
There isn't.
Got it.
It's
Straight.
flatline.
Flat.
Flatliner.
This was a lot of fun. We got to eat.
Now this is what year?
This is a 2007, so it's a hair young.
So now in red wines,
Yes.
which is the grape? And this is asking.
Yeah.
We need to learn, right? We're with the wine expert here.
Chorizo.
Which is the type of grape, for instance, in red wine that you would say holds its best to collect? If I were to say I want to start becoming and I'm looking at collecting wine, what is the wine that one buys now to consume in 30 years? No, let's do 20. I'm not sure I'm going to be around in 30 years, considering I'm 43. If I want to buy them, I want to
Just
drink
throwing it out
them.
there. Bordeaux.
A Bordeaux?
Bordeaux's
Okay.
last. I mean, just like when you cooked with those old Margots and Lafittes, you know,
Yes.
different story, different time. Bordeaux's last. They have the pedigree, they have the terroir to last for 15 to 30 to 50 if you buy
And
from
those are always first grapes?
first growths, you mean?
Groats, yeah.
No, not necessarily. You can even buy, you know, $30 to $60 Bordeaux, especially from 2005 and even 2006, that will last a very long time. So it really just comes down to the pedigree of the vineyard. I mean, there's Burgundies that will last a long time. Cabernet does well. Red wines last much longer. And red wines of high quality and heavy tannins. That bitterness
Yeah.
is your friend when you
What's
want to
gonna last?
Absolutely. That's the backbone, that's the structure that allows a wine to last.
And what's the story of the caps? Don't they say that caps generally, that you shouldn't hold them more than 12 years? Is that a myth? Have you heard that?
No, I mean, I've heard little things like that here and there, but, you know, cabs, yeah, that's their window, 8 to 15 years. The great ones can last 20 to 25 years. So, Ingrid, thank you so much for being on.
Thanks so much for having
But-
me and getting me a little tipsy.
But, you have to ask the question of the day. As the guest, you have to ask the Vayner Nation right now a question that they will answer in the comments below. Fire away.
Ooh, a question. You took me for a loop. Why didn't anyone tell me I was going to ask?
That's what I do.
I
I'm
can
very-
ask anything I
And
want?
you can ask about the weather. Anything in the world. Does not have to be food and wine related. But you have to fire away now.
Can we edit this?
No, absolutely not. Any question?
I'm gonna kill you.
Don't worry, this
Ask
is not even
anything.
close to the longest pause yet. You're at least 4 to 5 minutes away.
What question am I gonna ask you guys? I don't know, guys. Help me out. Let's see. Okay, I would say that. I don't know. Come
How
on,
about
Gary.
favorite Latin food? I mean, it could be anything. Just put a question mark at the end of it.
Okay, if you guys have, because I have so many more questions regarding wine, and I could probably, if I had hours with this guy, would ask him, and
Which
I
is
would name
available.
him all the foods that I really eat and cook with to really even give me more ideas of all these pairings. So if you guys can think of great Latin ingredients that I didn't bring with me today, and that we all want to know how to pair with wines, then bring them in. And if you guys want to get great Latin recipes, you said I could say anything I wanted,
You've
right?
got the floor, my
then
dear.
visit my website.
I love her. I love the hustle. I love you. Fire away. We're going to link this all up, Mom.
My recipes for those wines that he's going to suggest. Go to simplydelicioso.com or ingridhoffmann.com And all my recipes are there, or better yet, go to the bookstore, buy my book.
I love this
Simply
woman.
Delicioso, or watch.
Oh, Mark! Look at Mark, quick on the draw. Look at Mark. See, I told you, he's amazing. He really makes the show up.
Or
Thank
you
so
can
much.
see, thank you,
You're welcome.
pictures over.
Yeah, well, you can keep going if you like. I mean, I was enjoying it quite a
I'm
bit.
terrible, guys. Watch my Food Network show, and my television show. And I love you guys. Come on.
You, with a little bit of me, we are changing the wine world.